Wicked Witches. It is the Capricorn dark moon and I am on fire. I'm feeling amazing. It's the my sign is Capricorn. I'm Sagittarius rising, but I'm Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Mars, and my birthday's New Year's Eve. And so although I don't think like the Gregorian calendar change of date is this like, and now we do New Year's resolutions and it is a really big shift. It is a shift in numerology. So we've changed from a 9-year to a 10-year. Some people call it a 1 year. It is also a 1 year. So the 1 is the lower vibration of the 10. If you add the 1 and the 0 of the 10 together, it makes 1. So they're kind of the same thing, except that 1 is sort of like the Aries beginning of the zodiac. I am sort of individual, fiery, which is great. But 10 is the radiant body. It's this like more like the emperor sitting on the throne. In fact, it's Leo energy, so it's like the lust card. It's just feeling absolutely in your power and in your seat of power, and it's just the higher frequency of it. And in terms of alchemy, it's turning the lead into gold. So this is the year where we turn the shit into gold. All of the stuff that's happened to us, this is when we make it our medicine and we turn it into gold. And that's why I'm dressed like this tonight, babes. I've got my unicorn onesie on, but I've actually got a unicorn headdress on as well, so I don't need to have the hood up because it would be a bit too warm. I haven't got the fire lit because it's boiling. Yeah, I just I've had a really interesting and beautiful day, which has been, I was quite lost and confused in the last week because, well, in the last 2 weeks, because I am 100% starting to go through the perimenopause and I've been all over the place and my hormones have been really messing my head up. and I've been doing lots of trying to look after myself and not drinking much and blah, 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 and all that kind of thing. And just everything today gave me really loud and clear signals. So I did a beautiful circle with a lady in Guernsey who works with horses, and she's a shaman, and she we did a circle where I did a talk and I kind of did my thing, and so I did a moon ceremony like the ones I do online, and then we then went out, we pulled runes for the year, for the beginning and the end of a journey, of a spiritual line, whatever that is, and put one at the beginning of a course and one at the end, and then led horses along it and observed what happened with the horses. Like, did the horses refuse to move? What did that bring up in us? How did that make us feel? Like, how did it go? Was there a did they stop halfway along? Were you scared? Like, what did it bring up in you? Because horses are amazing teachers because they're such sensitive animals, and it was amazing. And my one just refused to move, and then did move when I didn't do things the usual way. And that's just me to a T, is to not do things the usual way. But it also was a real like penny drop for me in terms of, so my rune that I pulled is abundance, and the second rune was Ing, which is my rune. So it was about coming into a more truthful version of myself and the abundance. And I've had so many lovely people lately get in touch to say they've listened to my podcast or have been enjoying my work in some way, and that have reached out to tell me. And I've been like in this complete perimenopausal like mess, like fog and emotional turmoil, and then have been receiving these messages and have been going, okay, thank you, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting, that's happened again. Oh, that's interesting, that's happened again. And like at the ceremony today, someone gave me a crown and just all these lovely things. And it's like, actually, I have got this abundance. I have an abundance. I've got an amazing husband. I have got people supporting me and having my back. What I need to do is not do things the usual way, and I need to just absolutely fuck it. I think the wise woman phase, which is like the PMT phase of one's period cycle, and is the autumn, and is the wise woman before you become the crone, the death crone, is to go fucking mental. And I was already mental, but to really, really go mental. Like, I'm not gonna hold back, and I'm gonna give. I'm going to fight against the rich wankers over here in the Channel Islands as well, who are tax dodging nasty motherfuckers. I'm going to do what I can to fight what's going on in the world that I think is awful. I'm going to fight against racism. I'm going to fight against sexism. I'm going to fight against homophobia. I'm going to fight against fascism. I'm going to fight against tax dodging rich pricks, and I'm going to be absolutely fucking batshit mental at everybody. So that's what I've decided to do. And since deciding that, I have really, I mean, I was already doing it, but I have been doing a lot of masking and a lot of like trying to behave myself, really. And I've decided I'm just not going to. I've decided I am going to grow old extremely undignified and unelegantly. I've been watching Peaches videos lately for Fuck the Pain Away. And I think I look quite like Peaches today. And she is just so batshit. She's fully leaning into her amazing madness, older age as well. And I'm just like, yeah, baby, let's do it. Absolute queen. So I strongly suggest and urge you to do the same. And this Capricorn Dark Moon is all about you creating your life the way you want it. And so what we're doing in the ceremony tonight is we're making an iconostasis. I always do mine in advance because it's hard for me to hold the session and make mine at the same time. It ended up being really blue and green. It was meant to be gold. There is actually quite a lot of gold on there, but it's ended up being very blue and green. And it's interesting how much it's ended up being a lot more close and family orientated and like home orientated than previous ones, which have been a lot more like Boomtown, Glastonbury. Boomtown's on there, they're all on there, but in a much quieter way. But I'm not going to be quieter. But I feel like building a house this year. I'm trying to make things work here rather than trying to make things work in the UK, because the world's going to shit, right? And I live here, so I need to try and make things work here. So that's what I'm going to focus on. And also, I'm thinking about just going offline, and I don't want to give these tech bros any more of my time and energy. So I'm starting to think, like, you know where I am? If you want to find me, you could come here. I don't know. I'm starting to explore that as a possibility, because I'm a bit like, I'm fed up of giving my stuff to these people. So yeah, which coming off of some social medias at least, and yeah, I'm mulling that one over, but I think it's something I would like to do. I'm thinking about making Beltane, the festival I put on at May, like a completely analog festival. Not so we would have electricity, but our electricity is actually solar powered already. But to have like it not be online, and not so we would have to have a sum up thing to be able to buy tickets, because that was the only thing I couldn't think of that we could not do. But to like not do social media and stuff, because we sell out every year anyway, and it's like, well, this is just, you know, we don't have to do all of that. And actually to have a phone book with all the phone numbers for all the artists and the infrastructure and, you know, the producing side of things, and just have a phone book with everyone's number in, and I just ring them up and talk to them rather than do it by email, and just say to everyone, I'm just going to do this offline. This is going to be an offline festival, and market that and say the reason why we're doing it is because we're sick of this world. Like, we're just giving all our stuff away to this imaginary digital world that's completely screwing us over. So why would we do it? We don't have to. And while the infrastructure is still in place, like having a postal system and stuff like that, we need to, you know, it's like cash is king. Use cash, use the postal system. Like, I think we need to try and get off of digital. And I for one would feel a lot happier and healthier if we did. I'm going to do the reading afterwards, because people are going to start coming on to the ceremony soon. So I'm going to go into the ceremony and then I'll do a reading afterwards. But yeah, just wanted to share what's going on at the moment, because it's all very exciting. So see you anon. That was such a lovely ceremony. The thing that's so cool is that everyone created their iconostasis. And what's interesting with Zoom is you can see into all of the windows and you see the different people's like pixel, which is what I'm always saying, is that we're all pixels in a bigger picture, and you can literally see people's pixels and like their clothes, their bedroom, like their vibe was exactly what the iconostasis looked like. So it's really interesting, because that is our inner world. So as much as you're like, oh, you know, inner makes outer world, create or be created, it's like, no, literally your inner world is what your outer world looks like. That's what your inner world, and it's the proximity to the sphincter. So the outer world's infinite and it comes through your sphincter, and then the inner world's infinite, but there's only one infinity, and the Fool is when that's untwisted, where the inner and outer are one. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do. And it's that like I mean, I don't know what an indigenous culture is like, because I am not really part of one, but what I see and what I miss or crave is that what I see in Indigenous culture is that the spirit and the inner world is part of the outer world, and that they're one. And so like you don't just build a dam, like you don't just build a dam and make ugly concrete dam. It's something that you do together collectively, and it will be a work of art, and you'll do it as a community, and then there'll be a story told about it, and that story will be how to manage it. So rather than having a manual that tells you how to it's just like, why are we doing it this way? It's so shit. Fuck off. So like, yeah, no tarmac, no concrete. It could be made the way, like, so Aborigines had dams that they were using, and they had holes in the dams with strings the other side, so that the fish would go through the hole and then would just like go into the noose of the fishing rod, and it just would then fly out. So they weren't fishing, they were literally just catching them as they went through the holes of a dam that they'd built collectively. And the settlers, when they went over there, were like, oh my God, they're so lazy, they can't even be bothered to hold a rod. It's like, have you met Australia? It's fucking hot. Like, and also, why? Fuck it. Like, what is wrong with you? So yeah, you know, that's what I want to see more of, is our inner and outer worlds being one, to relax that sphincter and to let the inner and outer flow, and to realise how much it's already happening anyway. Like, you know, it's not something you've got to learn to do. Everyone held up their iconostasis. How much does this look like the background of my, like, it looks like me, it looks like my madness. It's the same vibe, it looks the same. Like when that's on there, it's going to fit, right? And everyone else held up their iconostasis and showed what they were creating, and it was the same colours and palette and vibe as what they were wearing and what their bedroom looked like. It's like, it's because it's the same thing, dude. We are a pixel in a picture, so what are you creating in your pixel? It literally seems great because it couldn't be more literal. It's literally like visible. I find that really amazing. And yeah, I'm just feeling on fire now. I am manic, definitely. My hormones are crazy. I don't care though. I'm gonna just, yeah, smash into this perimenopause shit in complete insanity styly is what's going on. So that's what I've decided today. And that's through listening to the universe, listening to myself, feeling what feels good, when I was trying to like hold it together and be, you know, I don't know, palatable or fit into this bullshit reality that's fucking destroying itself. I couldn't, it wasn't working. And then as soon as I went, oh yeah, let's just go mental, I was like, oh yeah, great. Thank God, at last. I mean, I know I already was, but dawn. So this is a new dawn. It's a new dawn. And it's not a new beginning, because this came up in the call. New beginning is the silver birch. So the new dawn means that we already know, like we can already see the sun, the light is shining. So it's like, what is already dawning? What is it that we're realizing? Real eyes, with our real eyes, what are we realizing and seeing is and isn't working in the world? What are we, like, yeah, let's see what the rest of it says. Physical world, what are we going to harvest? So this is the rune of harvest, and very nice that that's in the physical world, because it always just means that it's like reaping the rewards of the efforts that we've put in, which I think, you know, in the world we've things ain't bad even though they're bad. Like, we are living longer than we've ever lived. We have less child mortality, less death in childbirth, less poverty. Like, things are better than they've ever been. We're, you know, at the forefront of our science and progression. I think I wrote this, I think I've said this before, but because I've written books and so I can't remember sometimes if I'm quoting myself or not. I think I'm quoting myself, which is, why do we see before us nothing but despair when behind us there's nothing but progression? Why do we see before us nothing but despair when behind us there is nothing but progression? And it's this, like, we always think that the world's about to end. We always think that things are the worst they've ever been. They were saying the same thing in the medieval taverns and during the plague. Like, they were saying it in the 60s with the atomic bomb. Like, it's a known thing. So harvest, it's like, we've learned so much, we've done so much, we've achieved so much. Like, anything's possible. And reality's just popped up its own arse. You know, AI and everything, it's just disappeared up its own arse. And we're all individual pixels in individual parallel universes, all thinking that reality is different. Everyone's reality is different. We all think that we're in reality with everyone else, but if you actually go into someone else's reality or look at someone else's pixels, they're living on a different planet to you. We're all living on different planets. The fact we vaguely cobble something together that we all agree is reality is incredible. It's actually amazing, but it's not true. It's just like the vague sort of, yeah, we all agree with that sort of. But then there are laws and things in place that make things more solid. You're going to go to prison if if someone decides they move the goalpost and you're the wrong side of them. However, it is kind of all to play for, and we will be all right. It will be all will be well. So this is in our communication, and this is about our work with the twin. That is the sphincter. So that's the outer world, that's the inner world. This is the point where they cross. That is the sphincter. And so this is about your inner and outer, but it's also about your twin. Like your twin is your inner twin, but all of humanity, the whole universe, the whole world in front of you is also your twin. So where are you giving your energy? Where are you like, comparison is the thief of joy. You're giving that away. Like, bring it back. Like, you don't have to compare yourself or compete. We're all in this together. We're all one. So like the spiritual gift is in your relationships with the inner and the outer, but also with the people that you meet. It's like the Lover's card in tarot. It's about the union. It could mean about people, and it's also the union with you, with your higher self. So the south and the fire is sunshine. Brilliant. So this is about full sun radiance in our passion and our drive, and that's perfect because it's a 10-year that we've just entered into, 2026. So 10-year, or 1 and the 0 become 1, so it's 1 year depending on what your magic tradition is. But 1 is kind of like the Aries I am version, and then 10 is the higher frequency version. And yeah, how do we live into being the star and the star card and being our biggest, brightest selves? It's very Leo energy. And then in the inner world, this is the message. So both of these are the message runes. So this is a spiritual gift coming from the outer world. That's going to be an inner world gift. And this is a message from Odin, from the spirit world. And this is in our spirit world. And we just had an interesting conversation about synchronicity and following signs in the call, because I'm very scientific. One of the people on the call is very scientific, and it's she was talking about how synchronicity can be seen as like not taking responsibility for yourself. You can be very wafty. You can also disappear, it can be a rabbit hole. So it's not about not taking direction. Another rune is the arrow, which is like a spear, like shooting the arrow and hitting the target. Like, go for things, play life like a game of Jenga, try the bricks, see which ones move. That's kind of the synchronicity. It's like you're still doing something. You're not just lying back and watching the bricks and waiting for something to happen. You are still testing the bricks. But when things are moving and they're flowing, like little tickly joys happen that just make you feel like you're doing the right thing. And it's just enjoying that. But it's not like reading too much into it. I straddle both sides of the fence, 100%. I was saying, I think science and spirituality are the yin and yang of each other. That science without spirituality is immoral, and spirituality without science is just wah-wah nonsense. You need both, but you do need both. I think you do need both. But I know that when times are hard and people feel out of control, they're more likely to lean into spirituality. So it's just checking in with that we keep checking in with ourselves. For me, this is all about creativity, joy, permission, some kind of guidance in what is just chaos. We're hurling through space on a lump of rock, whatever gets you through the night. But as long as it's not fascism or any kind of narrow-mindedness, is thinking that your pixel and your version of reality is the only one and that it's true. And that's the thing you need to keep checking in with yourself, with everything and with everyone. And that's what the whole world needs to be doing more of, is yes, be your highest, brightest self, be your archetype, stand in your power, but also let everyone else be theirs, and they're not going to agree with you, and your realities are different. And we're bringing all of that to the mix, and making some collective consciousness soup that is fucking way more interesting and exciting than one ingredient soup. You know, you might be fabulous, darling, but no one just wants that. Like, you are part of the symphony. You are part, you're one note, and together we make the symphony. And you got to accept that within that symphony is all of the different notes. They're all part of it. So being open, letting, loving, embracing. Some of it's fucking dark too. And I'm not saying that it's okay. It's a fight, it's a tussle, it's a dance, it's a conflict. If it didn't happen, then nothing would happen. Life needs conflict. It doesn't have to be bad conflict, but it needs conflict for something to happen. A play is not a play unless something's happening. If you watch toddlers doing a play, they're always too scared. They don't put conflict in it, and it's just a bunch of things happening. It's not like there's no unfolding or storyline. For a storyline to happen, there needs to be some conflict, and we're in some kind of play or story or something that's unfolding. So things have got to happen, and so yeah, swings and roundabouts. I'm going to pull 3 cards. The Devil card. This is the Capricorn Dark Moon. This is the Devil, and that's exactly what I was just saying about the third eye. There is the Devil is in. It's the fear of the illusion of the fear that you have for you to live into your full potential. So the things that stop you physically being your full potential, and being like obsessed with money and power and that kind of thing when there's so much more than that. And also thinking that your version of reality is the only version of reality. I mean, that's literally what that card represents. But the Capricorn, this is Capricorn energy, is his third eye is opening. It's like when you realize that everyone is one and that everyone is valid, and you let everybody exist. That's when you get proper. And then we've got the Moon, and this is the dark night of the soul. The Moon card is like holding your course through what is madness, and we're going through a dark night of the soul, because part of the storyline and part of the cycle is that you'll have winter. The scarab beetle, which is on there, even in darkness, even in a dark moon, is able to guide the light, the sun. It knows where the sun is in relation to the earth, and it will keep moving on that trajectory, which is amazing, which is why the Egyptians had it as a sacred symbol, because it was able to still navigate by the sun even when the sun wasn't there. So it's obviously got some kind of magnetic connection to it. And that's just, you know, like, hold your course even in the darkness. Know that you know where the light is. Trust it. And that is such a fucking powerful message. And that's so relevant to what's going on in the world. Whatever's going on, know your light and your truth, but also accept the fact that other people's is different. And then be strong, strength. And this came up a lot in the ceremony I was in earlier. Strength doesn't just mean it's about like feeling so powerful and solid in yourself that you're like an oak tree, you're like Wonder Woman, you're just like superhero vibes, just feeling that strength and feeling that power. And so we'll get a little nudge from the goddess. Be wonderful. Just be yourself. Be yourself, babes. Be yourself. Everybody else is taken. Oh, she jumped out. Sage. So we've got, like, I'd say that's like the scarab beetle. Like, trust your inner wisdom, trust your knowing, trust your feeling of where the sun is. Because reality's gone. So you've got to trust yourself. It's just making sure there's space for the other. You know. Or just, you know, really be your weird fascist self, if that's what you want to do. You're probably not going to be watching this video if that's the sort of person you are. But yeah, if you are watching this video, probably the sort of person that is, you know, spiritual and that kind of thing. But it's to just check it all. You know, watch science stuff as well. Listen into things that are from another version of reality to you, because it's really important to do that, because none of it's real. Inanna. Independence. Inanna is my babe. I love Inanna. She's the precursor to Venus and Aphrodite. And she's a lot more like the conflict. She's the Venus and Mars, so she's the goddess of war and sex. And so that independence, she's there with her line, which is the Leo energy. It's the star card, it's the lust card. It's this like, have a lust for life, and she's sexy as, so she's, yeah, raw sex, fighting, you know, fighting and fucking is the vibe. And the world is, you know, going crazy. So just be at the front of the roller coaster ride with your hands in the air and just go for it. And especially this year, this 10 energy, just go for it. So there you go, lots of love, enjoy. It's the start of a fabulous new roller coaster. Off we go.